Okay, hello. Think we're live.
Hi,
Hi, Seneca. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just gonna go to my my Facebook page here and try to share this so everybody can see us live.
Yes, I'm gonna share it too.
Okay. Did it show up on your page yet? Or on Hicks Agency yet?
Let me refresh.
That's what I'm doing right now as well. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
we
mine's
are
on.
live.
Awesome. So for those of you who joined us and then got disconnected, it was because I had some technical difficulties, but we are back and we are live and hopefully everyone can see us. Let me share real fast. Okie dokie. All right, so Seneca, I'm so glad to have you here tonight. Um, what I wanted to do was obviously Hurricane Harvey hit us hard. Um, and were you and your family affected at all by the
You
hurricane?
know, I don't know if it's a delay, but we thank God we were not affected per se. However, we did get some flooding on our streets,
Okay.
and the water came all the way up to our mailbox and
Wow.
came all the way up to our doorstep. And we just started praying, and the water just started pushing back, like right before our eyes. It was just by the grace of God, the water did not come in our house. But
Yeah.
we did get some minor, leaking from our ceiling, from the roof, but, nothing major.
Okay, good. I'm glad. That's a blessing because so many people
Yes.
are affected here in Houston. And so for those of you all who are tuning in, thank you for rejoining if you were already on the video. And we're both here in Houston. And my name is Camille Hicks. I'm with Hicks Insurance Agency. And today I'm talking with Cenaca Cyprian. She's a mortgage loan officer. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So I'm doing this video because one, I'm in the business of protecting people's assets and helping them protect their wealth and everything that they work so hard for. And Hurricane Harvey really, for me, I had so many claims and so many people who lost everything. And they have so many questions that I decided to focus in September on just trying to help people rebuild. Whatever rebuilding is for you, it might be something minor, but it might be you lost everything. I had clients who literally lost everything. So I wanted to bring in specialists such as Seneca. I partner and work with the best, and I wanted to bring the A team to the table to really talk about and help you with how to rebuild. And if you weren't affected by a hurricane or any natural disaster, because there's a lot going on right now. There's been wildfires, there's been earthquakes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you weren't affected, I want you to think about and watch and get some information on how to, what I call regroup. Go back and look at some things, look at what you have, what you need, and hopefully you'll find something in this video that helps you kind of prepare for if something were to happen. So
Okay.
that's why I'm doing this series in September, focusing on helping people rebuild and regroup, and together we can all try to get to a better place, because there's people who lost everything that had a lot, and there's people who lost everything that didn't have much. And so no matter what level or what amount of money you have, a disaster can really take you under. So Seneca is here, and I'm so glad to have Seneca here. She's a client, she's part of my network, and she's knowledgeable in her field and in her industry. And so, Cenaca, do you want to introduce yourself to those who are joining us live and let us know what you do?
Yes. So thank you, Camille, first of all, for inviting me to join you and share all this information with your Facebook and your Instagram followers, and even my followers. I shared the video, so hopefully you guys are tuning in with us tonight. But my name is Cenaca Cyprian. Like Camille said, I am a loan officer. I work with NRL Mortgage. My office is here in Houston. It's local on the southeast side of Houston. And as you may know, we had a lot of damages in the Friendswood southeast side of town, and really all over Houston, but we got hit really, really hard in my area. But fortunately, my husband and I, we didn't experience any damages. But we have a really special program that's called FHA 203H. And after the Hurricane Harvey, there's been an increase in people who have been affected by Harvey that need assistance, not just housing assistance. They need to know how to, file insurance claims, how to get help from FEMA, getting supplies, just being able to just rebuild, just even where my kids going to go to school, because a lot of schools were hit really hard. So Camille and myself, we're here to just kind of help you guys just rebuild, refocus, and just be able to just reshift in the direction that you need. And with this program, which I really, really love, it came right on time for Houston, for Texas. This program, I am a certified license only in the state of Texas. So if you are out there watching, you're in another state, unfortunately, sorry, I'm not able to assist. But if you live in Texas, no matter what county, you can benefit from the program if the government declare your county as a natural disaster. And with the program, like I said, you have to have experienced your primary residence have to have been damaged or destroyed where it's inhabitable, where you cannot live there anymore. And if that is the case, then you can possibly qualify for this program.
Cenaca, what makes a home your primary residence?
If that's where you've been, bills coming to that address, you don't have other properties, so that has to be your physical address.
Okay. I have a couple customers who have multiple homes, and they might live in a home for 6 months or 8 months. And so that question comes up a lot on the insurance side, because flood insurance, you get a less expensive rate if it's your primary residence. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood what the primary residence is. And then quickly, a side note, I see a lot of people joining on Instagram Live. And so normally I'm on Instagram Live and Facebook Live, but today I have a very special guest. And so we're on Facebook Live. So if you're on my Instagram page, please feel free to hang out with us here. You can hear both of us. But if you want to see she's very beautiful too. If you want to see the special guest, Cenaca, join us over on Facebook Live at C. Hicks.
My dogs, I guess they want to get a little cameo appearance too. You see, you just jumped on the couch. Hey, I'm here too.
They're cute. So Cenaca, the name of the program is FHA 203H.
H.
Okay.
So it's basically, and I can go into more details about the program, how you can be eligible. So one, I said earlier, if your primary residence was damaged, the next criteria, you have to have at least a 580 credit score or higher, and it's no down payment, which is absolutely wonderful, which is the best part of the program, one of the incentives, because most FHA programs, you have to have a 3.5% down payment. But with this program, it's zero down. Like I said, zero down. And no matter, your credit score has to be 580 or higher.
Zero down. Okay. So the question I'm wondering is this for kind of refinancing, or is it for new home buyers as well?
It's for new home buyers. The program does have a refinancing component, but right now, NRL Mortgage, we are only doing purchasing only. And it is for renters. If you're a primary resident, you were just renting, you didn't have a mortgage on, you can also qualify for this program. So it's not just for homeowners. If you had a previous mortgage, or if you was renting an apartment or renting a home, if your apartment was damaged, you can qualify for the program. If you're run a house you were staying in, renting from a landlord, you can qualify. If you had a mortgage on your home and your home was flooded out, and now you're looking to purchase another home, you already got a current mortgage, you can still qualify. Only thing we need is proof that you had damage to the property. And what proof we would take is like your insurance claim, showing proof that you filed a claim with your insurance company, pictures, or the FEMA claim.
Okay, so did y'all hear that? Like, one, you do not have to put any money down. That's huge. And you do not have to own a home to qualify. So how do people apply for the program? Can they go through you, or do they have to go to a certain?
Yes, they can go through me. Yes, they go through me. My website. If you can, I don't know, I can type it right here in the comments.
I can put it up.
Okay, it's www.Cenaca, Cenaca, Cyprian, Cyprian, .nrlmortgage.com. And I just posted it in the comments if you can see it.
Okay. And I also put it up on the screen so that everybody can see. So that's Cenaca's website. She can help you with this program, can tell you if you qualify or not, as well as actually help you get into the program as well. And so those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about the FHA 203H assistance. FHA, would it be it's a loan?
It is a loan. It's 100% financing. Like I said earlier, zero down. Your credit score has to be at least a 580 or higher. Now, let's just say I have some people out here that was not affected by Harvey. You didn't experience any flood water to your home and your apartment, but you still want to buy a home. So I do have other grants available for those of you that is looking to purchase a home, but you don't have the money to put down. I have other grants out there that would help with down payment assistance.
Okay. So, Cenaca, one of the biggest questions I'm being asked right now is, okay, so someone has a mortgage and the house has been completely destroyed. What are the options to do? What do they do with their mortgage? I mean, the mortgage doesn't just go away, right?
Right. So that's a good question. And that question comes up a lot because, well, first of all, if you have a mortgage, the mortgage doesn't just go away. Even though the house may be destroyed, but the mortgage is still there. So as a homeowner, contact your mortgage company. You're going to contact your insurance company, and you're going to be kind of like in this waiting period where you're reporting. You're waiting on the insurance company to pay you out for the damages, of your home. So your mortgage company, your mortgage service provider should basically put a stop or, on your payments. You shouldn't have to continue to make those payments. And if they don't, they're going to do some type of modification where you don't. And once you get the money from the insurance company, my current mortgage.
Okay. So
Yeah. And some people may not get money back, or they may decide, I just want to sell my house. And if that is the case, let's say, for instance, you start receiving late payments on your mortgage because you don't live in the house no more. So why are you going to pay for a mortgage you're not living in? Some people may not have the money to pay their mortgage. So with the program, our underwriters, any late payments that you have on your mortgage after Hurricane Harvey, we are going to forgive those late payments. So it will not affect you from being pre-approved.
Okay, so would somebody need to just call their mortgage company and just notify them of what's going on, and the mortgage company is going to work with them?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So do they have to create new terms for the mortgage now based on the fact that their home has been destroyed, or is it just going to kind of pause the payments while they figure out what their next?
Now, I can't speak on every mortgage company because every mortgage company is different. Right. So I don't want to get too far into that because, you know, every mortgage company have different guidelines. But for the most part, they should work with you because they know that your county was in a disaster, and they should do some type of modification where those payments aren't required to be paid.
Okay. Okay, great. So what about people who were closing on a home or in the process of purchasing a home when the hurricane hit? What are their options right now?
So for people who was in the process of closing, if they already paid for an appraisal, they will have to reorder another appraisal because, you know, there was a lot of homes destroyed. So if that home was destroyed or affected, then 9 times out of 10, they may not be able to close on that particular property.
Okay. So another big question that I'm getting that I wonder for myself too. So if you were looking into purchasing a home before the hurricane, now the hurricane has hit, are there additional options now because there's so many homes that have been destroyed? Are there options for purchasing homes that people, because I know a lot of people are having to literally walk away from their homes. So what are options for new home buyers or are people looking to purchase a home or even an investment property?
So my advice would be to definitely do your research. You know, when you purchase a home, of course, check to see if that home is in a flood zone. And if it is in a flood zone, you definitely want to get flood insurance. So Camille, I'm sure you can attest to that. You probably will tell your clients, you know,
and I can
get flood insurance.
Is in a flood zone or not?
Right, but with the way rain will not allow anybody to be great. So I honestly will just get flood insurance, period, because after Hurricane Harvey, there were neighborhoods that didn't flood, you know, ever, and it flooded. So that's scary. You never want to be in a situation where you feel like I'm going to lose everything. Because I will say that was us, my husband and I. Our neighborhood never flooded, and thank God it didn't flood. But the water came so close to our door, and we didn't have flood insurance, and we were just like, "Oh my goodness, if this water come in, we're gonna lose everything." We have homeowners insurance, but of course, it wouldn't cover the flood. So, right. You know, I would tell all my clients or all new home buyers out there, you know, make sure you get flood insurance. You know, especially when you're living in Houston, it's not that expensive, and you can get a quote from Camille.
Yes, go to hickinsurance.com. Really, like a side note, I mean, I know people are like worn out with hearing about flood insurance, especially if you didn't have it, but it doesn't cost that much, and we are still in hurricane season. I just want to remind everybody of that because this is a very, very active hurricane season, and it does not cost, even if the max amount of coverage, which is $250,000 on your home and $100,000 in contents, it's $450 for the year if you're not in a flood zone. And if you're in a flood zone, we can do a quote for you. But you don't have to get the max. You might not need the max. So you might be looking at $200 for the year. So please.
That's good. $200 for the year? That's really inexpensive.
Yeah. It is inexpensive, and people don't realize how inexpensive it is. And then the other side note that I wanted to mention while we're talking about homes, and my job is to help people protect their assets. And I mean, for me, your home is one of your biggest assets because it's where your family lives. It's where you put so much into your home, and it's your place, it's yours. And so I think that out of everything that you can lose clothes, a car. Okay, you have car insurance, fine, but your home, for me, is something just so personal that items can be replaced, yes, but if you have coverage for those items and for that home, it can make life and rebuilding so much easier. And people don't realize that life insurance can help you in times like this as well. So if you have cash value in a life insurance, this is the time to draw on that money and help yourself rebuild, or even pay a mortgage while you're not able to live in the home or bring in income. So I have some other questions here, Cenaca. I think you answered a couple of them already. So you might have already, you kind of touched on this, but I see some more people joining. And those of you joining on Instagram Live, hi, and please join us over on Facebook because I have a special guest with us, Cenaca. She's a mortgage loan officer. So please join us on C Hicks Agency on Facebook. So fb.com/C Hicks Agency. You mentioned some of the programs for mortgage relief. And just for those of you that are just tuning in, it's also for people who rent as well. It's not just for people who own a home. And you can contact Cenaca. I'm going to show her website again. If your items or your home or your apartment or a home that you were renting was damaged during the storm, the flood, please contact her because she can help you, decide if you are qualified, one, and two, once you qualify, you can actually apply to get this relief assistance through it's called the FHA 203H.
And also to Camille, I want to add, especially those of you who were impacted, lost everything. The last thing on your mind may be buying a house, because you're trying to, recover your personal items. You're trying to, if you had children, you're trying to get childcare in place. You're trying to get school. You're probably still living with, displaced. So right. The program is good up until 1 year. So okay. You may not be ready to purchase today or next month, but let's say 6 months from now, like, oh, I remember seeing this live video. The cute lady Camille, y'all gonna remember. Y'all remember this video 6 months from now and know that I can use this program. I'm ready now. So even 6 months from now, you can use this program. But you have to, if you want the disaster relief program, want to use it, you have to do it within 1 year after, but 1 year after the hurricane actually occurred. So I think that was August, what was that? August 28th, 9th?
29th, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, but you have to do it like next August 2018. You have to already have used the program before that 1 year mark.
Okay. So that program though is for people, just to make sure I have it correct, it's for people who already have a home and had some damage as well as renters that might have had damage. And it's assistance for hurricane relief, right? Or disaster relief.
Exactly. Yes. And it's zero down. Zero down.
Okay.
You don't have to pay any down payment. However, you still have expenses for closing costs. A lot of people confuse down payment and closing costs. So the closing cost expense is still there, but the down payment, you don't have to pay down payment. And typically down payment is anywhere from 3.5% to 10% down, depending on which loan program.
Okay. And so I also I heard something along the lines of, or saw a sign about people whose homes have been destroyed and they do have a mortgage, that some companies are actually buying those homes or those mortgages from those people. Is that anything that that you do on your end if somebody's trying to purchase a home that's already been destroyed? Is there some type of incentive to purchase a home that might be a loss?
Well, I do it. However, it's a special program, and that program will have some rehabilitation and reconstruction to it. So it's a little bit more outside of the scope of the 203H program. Okay. But they can email me, and I can give them more information about that on another conversation.
Maybe that's a whole nother.
It's a lot of information. That program is very complex.
Okay. So, and I'm gonna put Cenaca's website up again, because we're kind of briefly discussing some of the programs, as well as a little bit about insurance as well. I'm gonna put my website up as well. We're rushing over it just because it's a lot, but I wanted to do this video because we can give you the basic information, and if you contact us, a lot of times there are programs and things that fit your specific needs based on things that you qualify for, or based on new programs that are coming out on the market. There's a lot of people trying to help right now. A lot of companies are trying to help, especially here in Houston. Our whole city was completely underwater. And so there are people and programs in place that are trying to help us rebuild. So if you give us a call or send us an email, then we can help you find what's going to fit best for whatever your needs are. So we're really here to just be a resource, and it's hard to cover everything. Plus, we would probably bore you to death if we talked about everything on this video. But I definitely wanted to make myself available, as well as introduce you to Cenaca. Probably half of the people on the video already know her. I think we know a lot of the same people. But I wanted to make sure that we are available, and that I bring you people who are specialized and knowledgeable in their industry to be able to assist you in rebuilding or preparing for something if something were to happen. Let me see if I have any other questions. Did you have anything to add, Cenaca, that I didn't ask you yet?
Trying to make sure. No, I don't. I think we pretty much covered everything. I do want to just reiterate that this is a great program, especially if you do not have money, a lot of asset or resources to cover your down payment. And it's and typically, and just to paint a picture, typically most of the programs out there that helps with down payment, your credit score has to be 640 or higher. But with this program, they're taking scores as low as 580, and that's almost unheard of.
Right. And that's so can a new home buyer apply for that program as well?
Yes.
Okay.
New home buyers, previous home buyers, you have multiple homes, long as, remember, the key thing, you have to have had damage to your primary residence.
Okay.
Whether it was renting or owning. And if you didn't have damage, I do have other programs, other grant programs that you can qualify for with zero down payment.
Okay. So a question I've been getting a lot too is a lot of people, if you didn't have, hi Tristan, if you did not have damage, there are some people that are still trying to purchase homes. They already planned to purchase a home, but now there's a little bit of fear with purchasing in our area. So from an insurance standpoint, I definitely suggest getting an appraisal and also looking at aerial views of the area to figure out if the home was damaged or if it flooded in that area. I don't know, Cenaca, if there's anything from a mortgage standpoint that you want to suggest for people who are kind of fearful of applying for a loan right now and for purchasing a home after a disaster like Harvey.
Actually, now is a good time to purchase because there's so many deals on the market right now. You probably can find some really good deals on homes. I mean, you may not want to buy a house in a flood zone, but you probably can get a really good deal on a house in that area as long as you have flood insurance. You know, you're covered. And even if it's not in a flood zone, there's still good deals on the market right now because of the disaster. And so I would say don't fear. Just make sure you have all your ducks in a row and you have everything you need to cover yourself if there was another disaster to happen in the future.
Okay. I think that right now, I think that it's hard because we've experienced such disaster here. But I just want to remind people watching that, you know, you can't predict, you know, or see what's going to happen with weather. It doesn't matter where you live. Look at Houston. Like there's areas that never flooded before that literally, I mean, wiped out whole neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. So insurance is hard for people sometimes because it is about the unknown. It doesn't take care of the right now. And I just want to remind people that we're here to help you prepare and to also help rebuild, but also prepare in the process. So if you really sit down and talk with us, whether you're buying a home and you're talking to Cenaca about a home loan or your mortgage, or you're talking to me about after you purchased a home through Cenaca, you're talking to me about homeowners insurance or flood insurance, that it's really about not closing fast. It's not all, everybody wants to close fast. Everybody's worried about getting the insurance to close on their home, but we really need to sit down and talk about what you're doing to prepare if something were to happen, because that is what insurance is. We don't often take the time to think about the unforeseen things that happen, but they do happen. So either way, preparing yourself can change the time and the cost on the back end. And unfortunately, that's what's happened here in Houston, that there were so many people that even though we live in a place where it floods, we just weren't prepared for this. So we're both here to help you prepare moving forward, as well as help you rebuild as you move forward as well. So I have some questions coming in here. Let's see. This is somebody I know. If you're renting, can you qualify as a new home buyer? Yes. Is that correct, Cenaca? If you are renting, can you qualify? Oh, I see. Yeah, if you're renting, can you qualify as a new home buyer? Yes, if you haven't owned a home before.
It was kind of choppy. Oh, I see the question. It said, what if you were renting? Can you qualify? Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, you can qualify as long as you don't currently have a home or a mortgage, right?
Yes.
Okay. After this hurricane, does that now change the amount you need to pay for flood insurance? That's a good question. I think there's going to be lots of conversation and discussions about our flood zones here in Houston. But as of now, the flood insurance is the exact same price as it was 3 months ago or a year ago. So if you purchase flood insurance right now, it will be good for a year. I can't be certain of how much it's going to cost after next year. There might be changes, but as of right now, there are no changes, and the flood zones are the same and the flood insurance rates are the same. So if you call me today and purchase flood insurance, it will be effective 30 days from today, and it will be good for a year. Okay. I'm just checking Instagram. Thanks for those of you following me on Instagram. If you have questions, you can put them up. We're asking hi, Spice Up Marriages. We're talking to Cenaca from, what's the name of your mortgage company, Cenaca?
NRL Mortgage.
So they're asking who we're listening to, because they can hear you but not see you on Instagram. So we're listening to Cenaca Cyprian, and she's with NRL Mortgage. And her website is Cenaca, CENACA, Cyprian, CYPRIAN .in as in Nancy, RL as in Larry, mortgage.com. So thank you for those of you joining and listening on Instagram Live. I am usually on Instagram Live and Facebook Live, but today we have a special guest. So if you want to see our beautiful faces, both of us, you can join us. We're wrapping up, but you can join us over on Facebook at Hicks Agency. But feel free to post your questions here in the next couple minutes. Okay. Cenaca, anything else that you can think of right now that we didn't cover? I think we covered everything. Can you hear me? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you. I said we covered everything.
Okay, awesome. One side note that I wanted to mention, we're talking about home loans a lot, but I want to talk about the insurance side of it really quickly. Once you put a mortgage or a loan in place, it's important that you make sure you get the right amount of coverage as well, and the right type of coverage. So it's one thing to be covered, but it's another thing to understand your coverage. I'm getting a lot of claims where people do not necessarily understand their coverage. When you're closing on a home, your objective is just to buy the home and not to worry about the insurance. So I just want to remind people that as you're talking to Cenaca about your loan, to make sure that you are taking the time to talk with us and giving us the time to talk to you about your insurance as well. And flood insurance does not cost that much, and so make sure you're adding flood insurance to your coverage. And another conversation, but I'll just briefly mention it, is having proper life insurance. I like to call it, at this point, I call it live insurance, because it's about living benefits within the policy and not necessarily just about dying. You can use life insurance for your mortgage, to protect your mortgage, as well as to purchase a new home. You can use the cash value in a policy to purchase and to help maintain your home as well. So please make sure you utilize myself. I'm Camille, and I'm with Hicks Agency, and my website is chicksinsurance.com. And Cenaca is with NRL Mortgage, and her website is here on the screen as well. Okay. So if there's no more questions, I don't see any more questions right now.
And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to inbox me. Go to my website. My email address is on my website. My phone number is on my website. So you can contact me anytime if you have questions. Well, not anytime. Like, Because if you contact me after midnight, I'm gonna be asleep, no response.
Care when it comes down to insurance. It's like, yeah, I'll call her anytime. So yeah,
So I have to make sure because I say anytime. I'm like, oh, for real, anytime. So no.
that's okay. Yeah, we're here to help. So definitely go to both of our websites. They're flashing on the screens here, and all of our information is on both of our websites. So feel free to use this as a resource, and please just let us know if you have any questions. You can always inbox us, and we will make sure that we get those questions answered for you.
Yeah.
So I want to definitely, I thank Cenaca. I want to thank you for being here with me. I know we had technical difficulties in the beginning, and I'm glad that a lot of you joined back in. And hopefully we can do this again without the technical difficulties. But I'm glad y'all
we got it this time. We're gonna be ready.
Yes, we're definitely going to be ready. I can't help it. Facebook keeps changing things and bringing on new things that I don't know how to use, but we're trying. The whole point is we're here. We're here trying. So, thank you for being here, Cenaca, and thank you for all your insight.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay. And everybody have a good night. And if you have questions, feel free to contact us. Okay.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.